this video on the sum and difference rule for derivatives. We're going to start with the sum rule. And I'm just breaking these up for time's sake, so it's a little bit easier on people when you go to watch these. So that's why they're not all in one big, long video. So the sum rule. That means when your function is g of x plus h of x. Like when it's 3x squared plus 5x. Something like that. Just like in the last video, we're going to do the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. Well, putting x plus h into here, we're going to get limit as h goes to 0 of g of x plus h, I should put this in parentheses, plus h of x plus h, minus, putting f of x into here, we get g of x plus h of x all over h. And when we distribute the negative, we get g of x plus h of x plus h minus g of x minus h of x. All this over h. And we're taking the limit still. Now I'm going to do some rearranging. And we end up with, as h goes to 0, g of x plus h minus g of x all over h, plus the limit as h goes to 0 of h of x plus h minus h of x all over h. Hey, looky here. This is g prime of x. And this is h prime of x. So that means that f prime of x equals g prime of x plus h prime of x. All right. That one's not too bad. Now let's look at the difference rule. Bug bothering us. So that means we have f of x equals g of x minus h of x. Now, based off the last rule, you might have an idea of what this could be. But let's go through trying to prove it to be on the safe side. All right, we still are using this definition. Alright, still use that. And just like before, we're going to put both of these into up there. So we'll end up with limit as h goes to 0 of g of x plus h minus h of x plus h minus g of x minus h of x all over h. Well, just like before, I'm going to distribute that negative sign, but this time I'm going to end up with minus g of x plus h of x all over h. I'm going to do some rearranging again. Limit as h goes to 0 of, these two it's really easy to combine. We've got g of x plus h minus g of x all over h. And we've got the limit as h goes to 0 of negative h of x plus h of x over h. I'll make that a little bit neater. The problem is we don't have a rule for this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out that negative sign. So if I factor out a negative sign, this part stays the same. This becomes negative. Limit as h goes to 0. Divide this one by negative 1, I get h of x plus h. This becomes minus h of x all over h. And now it's written in a form that I can use. So this is still g prime of x minus h prime of x. And there's our rule. F prime of x is g prime minus h prime. Alright, that's the sum and difference rule. I'm going to break, because the product rule can be a little long, I'm going to put that in a different video. So I'll see you in the next one.